I knew I was at my breaking point and really viewed this as a rebranding for Rachel. I've always been overweight, and because of that, I was just picked on pretty nonstop from third grade all the way through high school. And my struggle with my body image and my relationship with food really started at a young age. I was obsessed constantly over what I put in my body or what people saw me eating or are people judging me, but I didn't know that that was abnormal. I've always dealt with some form of anxiety or depression most of my life. I went to therapy starting at a young age to deal with some family trauma, but nothing ever really fit. And I think it's because nobody was treating both things at the same time. And so I went into adulthood without any kind of coping skills, no way to handle things, except for the habits that I learned as a child, which was comfort everything with food and just buying stuff. I was just constantly spending money to make myself feel better. I got myself in financial trouble, and I was so ashamed and embarrassed, and I felt like I was a burden on my family and I was a burden on my friends. And that's when I really thought that everyone in my life would be better without me. It was my 30th birthday that my parents had me over for dinner, and they said, you either need to pick a place to get help or we will. Although I knew I needed help, I was still very resistant to getting help or what that would look like. Getting help was for other people. It wasn't for me. I remember calling, though, to do the screening process. It was going to be for treatment of severe depressive disorder, which I knew I had because I was suicidal at the time, and for an eating disorder. And this is the first time anyone had said to me that I had an eating disorder. After my 3 months there, I was in a much better place. The best way I try to describe it is, oh, your house looks beautiful and clean from the inside, and then somebody opens up your garage door and everything has just been packed in there. And so a big part of it was having to then unpack the garage and, you know, the things that I had just actively avoided for so long. They wanted me to be treated as a whole person. It wasn't, let's just focus on this one facet. It was, what can we do to make sure that you're good all the way around? And being told that it wasn't my fault was huge for me. I felt validated. I felt like somebody actually saw me and what I was going through. And it felt like I was seen for the first time. I had learned these skills. Now, how am I going to apply it when the stress comes back in? I'm going to have to live with these tendencies for the rest of my life. I would love to say that I never had a binging episode again. It's not reality. What's different is that I can confront it now. I go to my therapist and I say, all right, I had a binging episode this weekend. These were my triggers. What can we do to better prepare myself for this? Since I've left, I've gotten myself completely out of debt, which I never thought would happen. I left 4 years ago and I've had 4 promotions since then. I started to realize that I was strong and I was smart and I was capable. The moment that you start to believe that about yourself, other people see it too.